Hi there, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. My name is Melanie and it is another Christmas card challenge. This is where I am making at least one Christmas card every month of the calendar year. So far I have exceeded that. I'm pretty close to having enough cards, but you know, it just means I get to send out more. So I have in front of me my little Christmas card kit. It's kind of a collection of paper, scraps, various embellishments, etc. that I think I can use to make these cards. And I was inspired by a recent Smash Your Stash video by Letty. I was inspired by Letty. I'll leave her YouTube channel here on the screen, so if you want to check her out. And she actually made some shaker cards using pocket cards. And so I thought, I've got pocket cards for Christmas. Let's do that. So let me pull out some supplies that I think I'm going to use and we'll get started. Okay, so I pulled out some cards, cut aparts that I think would work. The most obvious are the ones that have a focal image. So like this Allie Edwards card with the gingerbread on here, or the little mistletoe sprig. And then these snowmen. These are not your typical 3x4 cards. They were cut aparts from a 12x12 sheet of paper. These ones would also work really well because they're a little more on the simple side. Adding it as a shaker would make it really interesting. All you would need to do is stamp a sentiment or add a die cut sentiment, and these would make cute cards. And then the last set are ones that have a sentiment that pretty much fills up the entire card, and adding the shaker bits will just jazz that up. Now, am I going to do all of these? I don't think so. That's a lot of cards to make, and again, like always, I am short on time. So I think what I'm going to do is just pick a few of these and I'll show you how I'm going to make the shaker element. Okay, I think I'm going to go with these 7 because they all have the same color scheme. I believe they were all from the same Allie Edwards kit. It was not one that, it was one of the add-on designers that she has. I can't remember who it was offhand. But anyways, I think I'm going to go with that. I pulled out a few stamp sets. I've got big scripty greetings from Simon Says Stamp. I don't know that all of these would fit, but like love, hope, and joy, Noel, peace, I think should all fit. Be joyful. I've also got holiday greetings. This is from Hero Arts, and I don't know if these would fit. Maybe like cheers, but I thought if nothing else I could use this to stamp on the inside of a card. And then I also have from Colorado Craft Company, holiday wishes. I think like holiday wishes will fit, maybe even greetings of the season. And then I also have hand lettered holiday, and I don't remember who this is from. I don't see it on the package. I'm guessing maybe Ranger. Anyways, that's my guess. So I am just going to keep these really simple. I'm just going to stamp with black ink just because I need the boldness to pop through, and then with the shaker elements, you know, you get it, right? So let me stamp these and I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, so I stamped out the sentiments. I thought I'd just share with you which ones I used so you can see how I configured them. So from the hand lettered holiday, I just used the little tiny happy on here to make this happy merrymaking. And then this one with all the little ornaments kind of reminded me of like banners and celebrating New Year's. So I thought cheers to the New Year was kind of a fun one to put there. These were a little more whimsical, and I thought the Colorado Craft Company one lent itself well to that. So I used this large Happy Holidays on this card. I rotated this and did the greetings of the season on this one. And then the last one is one that I did mess up on the stamping. It is the Happy Holidays, and I had to double stamp these, and I was using my Misty, and I did a rookie mistake, didn't make sure it was tucked into the corner, and so when I double stamped, the happy looked weird, but the holidays surprisingly looked okay. So I'm not sure why that happened, but probably because this is bolder. Anyways, I just then restamped it on a little piece of black scrap and embossed with gold embossing powder and covered up my little mistake. Okay, so now it's time to make those pockets. For my shaker cards, I'm going to use these rainbow quartz triangles from Nouveau Rose Gold. I don't know that they're really rose gold. They look more gold than rose, but anyways. And Nouveau Prickly Pear sequins. So these are larger, these are small, and these are pretty tiny. So a good variety. I picked the prickly pear because all of these have the green in them, and then a gold because of course, you know, that's just classic. And then the rainbow because there are some pinks and blues and stuff in the majority of these, so I think that will work well. I also have 7 cellophane bags. You could recycle bags that you have from packaging. These are ones that I've had in my stash forever and a day, and I never use them, so I am going to use the full 7. If you are needing to be a little more frugal, these particular bags, which are 5 by 7, I think. Yeah, 5 by 7. You could get 2 cards per, but because I'm not being frugal, I am going to use 1 card per bag. So the first thing we're going to do is we are just going to stick the card in the bag, and we're going to tuck it into the corner because our plan is to use that corner. We're going to then wrap the excess around, so we're starting to form the envelope or pocket. And so what I want to do for this is I want to take some double-sided tape, and I'm going to attach some along the edge of the card and along the edge of the cellophane. Because mine wraps over quite a bit, this will give 2 adhesion points to the back of the card. Now I am doing this side first before I add the sequins to the pocket, just because I don't want sequins floating all over the place. I'm just going to make sure it's tucked into that corner, and I'm going to fold that over and then fold that over. Okay, so we now have something that looks like this. Now we're going to add our sequins, and you are going to want to make sure that you put them in this front pocket, not this back. And this is a lot, so I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to trim this down a little bit. And of course, like I said, if you're being more frugal, you could get 2 out of each one of these. You would just have to add more tape to make it work. Okay, so we want to make sure it goes in the front because we're going to tape this around the back. So I have this little tiny scoop tool from Nouveau or Tonic Studios. I'm going to use that to help me add the sequins to the envelope. So I always struggle with how much to put in here. So my question to you is, how do you know when enough is enough? So I always tend to go overboard, which means then I have too much, which causes problems because you can't actually see what the image is. So I'm going to start off with 2. I think that's going to be good. 2 of each. And again, I'm just trying to make sure that the majority of it ends up on the front. If it ends up on the back like I just did, in other words, do as I say, not as I do, it's not a big deal. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I think that'll be okay. So enough to actually shake, but not too much to cover. And these are a little more simple cards in the sense of that there's not a big focal point, so I think you can get away with a little more sequins. Anyways, just my thoughts on that. So after you fill the pocket with the sequins, you do have to seal it on the back. And what I've been doing is just applying 1 strip of tape along the edge of the card. I did trim this down because there was a lot of extra bulk. And we're just going to wrap this around. Now, Don't make it super tight, meaning it's okay if it's a little bit loose, because that just gives your sequins some space to move. Okay, and then you'll notice that the top flap, oops, sorry, off camera, I just folded that over. You'll notice that the top flap is loose, and originally I had applied tape on the inside to seal it down, but I've decided instead that it's easier to just lay it flat and over the edge to apply some tape. I don't know if you guys saw that. So I just, over the edge, I applied some tape. This is going to be added to a card, so you're never going to see the back, and I can always peel this off and use this as adhesive to attach it to the back as well. So the next thing I did was I took my scraps, which are basically here cut to different sizes, and I paired them up with the shaker pocket. So I think this one would look really cute, kind of framed out by this. I might have to change the proportions a little bit, you know, maybe trim it down, but I think I like that. And this one has some words in red, and there's a little bit of red in here, so I think the contrast of that is nice. This might look cool matted in black. Actually, they all might look cool matted in black, so that might be another option. This is from an Erin Condren gift card wrap promotion quite a few years back. Anyways, I kept the cards, not intending to use them as cards, but as a layering piece. And I'm thinking we can make this layer up, something like that on a card. Might look kind of cute. This is another one. It just says, may your holidays be filled with love and laughter, but I'm liking the black component of it. So again, thinking something along those lines. This was some Stampin' Up! Paper, and I thought that red went really well with the little red berries in there. I also had this really thin strip of green. Maybe we can add some sort of band or something like that. This was from the same Stampin' Up! Paper pad. It's got Oh Christmas Tree on this side. I really like that color with the red in the berries in here. And again, similar idea, but with a black and white stripe, I'm thinking. And then the last one, this is really old, like paper. Like probably Michael's cheap paper from like 15, 20 years ago. But I like this kind of quilted pattern, especially with the snowflakes on here. They kind of remind me of poinsettias, which the quilted pattern, the 8-punter reminds me of. Anyways, same idea. And then a strip of this gold yellow. Okay, so let me get some card bases, and I'm going to double check to see if I want to do a black mat, and we'll go from there. So here are the completed cards. Just use the scraps. Like I said, I had them already pre-trimmed and just matted the focal point on the black cardstock. The cards were 3x4. The mat is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. I tried originally at 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, but I thought the black, that was too much black. So that's the first card. I did not do any dimension or anything on this one. Same basically design, only it's a vertical orientation, and I shifted the band from being in the middle down on the bottom just to balance it out, because there's a couple things going on up here and only the one little element at the bottom, so I thought having the band at the bottom would work better. Sorry for the glare. Now this one, something is crooked on it and I can't figure out what it is. I think it's the bag, but it still looks super cute. I added some gold washi just to jazz it up a little bit, but I kept it really simple. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing simple cards. Same design as the first one, just with some different patterned paper and of course a different card engraving. This one I actually did pop up this panel on foam tape because I don't have a stripe or anything going across, or a strip of paper going across. The mat is almost a full mat. I did leave a slight border around the edge and I think that looks really cute. This one I had paired with this off-white grid paper, which, you know, normally you would orient this way, but because it's a card, it just looks like a stripe, doesn't look like, you know, lined paper. But because this was off-white, I didn't want to place it on a white card base, so I had in that same kit a cranberry kind of red colored card base, and I think that turned out just great. And the last card, I struggled a little bit. Just having it on this mat was very boring. So I brought in more black to play off of that. I added some more of that glitter washi. And then I had this package of penguins in the kit as well. They're from Recollections. I tried using them last month and it didn't work out, but this time I managed to get one of them on there. And I really like how this one has turned out now. So those are my Christmas cards for the month of July. 7 more added to my stash. If you're playing along and are sharing on social media, I'd love to see what you're coming up with. And until next time, happy crafting.